When it comes to wellness, there's always a new slate of trends as many individuals try to hack their health with the hopes of feeling their best.
But there is, of course, a lot of misinformation out there. So here's our resident wellness expert, Kyle Buchanan, back for another round of the Kyle Files.
Good morning, you two.
Good morning, good morning. All right, let's dive right in. Our first question this morning, Kyle, comes to us from Rosemary in Nelson, BC. And she asks, have you heard of a coffee nap? And what are your thoughts?
There were so many good questions today, so I'm excited. Have you heard of a coffee nap?
Nope.
Okay, so a little explanatory, so bear with me. But a coffee nap involves drinking a small coffee or espresso right before taking a short 20-minute nap. And it can result in more of a pick-me-up than either on their own. And the reason has to do with caffeine and something called adenosine, which is the compound in our body that makes us feel sleepy. It accumulates in our brain during the day, and when we sleep, adenosine is cleared from the brain. Caffeine works by blocking adenosine receptors, but it needs those receptors to bind to, which can be limited if it's midday and we're tired and they're already being occupied by adenosine. So that's where this concept comes into play. Caffeine takes like 20 minutes to kick in, so when you have a coffee and go right to sleep, during your nap, your adenosine levels drop, which free up those receptors for the caffeine to act on when you wake up. So you can get a bigger caffeine kick when you wake up and theoretically more alertness. Now, I find that very few people can do this successfully. They're normally good nappers to begin with, but for people like truck drivers who have to stay sharp and work long hours or shift workers, it really can be a kind of a cool hack.
Okay. All right. Yeah. Our next question is from Jeremy from Brampton, Ontario, who asks, just heard of this. What is, okay, we're talking caffeine some more, caffeine intoxication. How do we prevent it?
So this made headlines a couple weeks ago. Jeff and I were talking about it.
Hot topic.
It's a hot topic. So caffeine intoxication is sort of what it sounds like. It's when you've had way too much caffeine or way more than your body can handle. And it can cause a range of symptoms from the jitters to a racing heartbeat to seizures and in very, very rare cases, even death. So depending on someone's genetics, most of us can handle anywhere from 200 to 400 milligrams of caffeine a day, which is about 2 to 5 cups of coffee. For this intoxication level, we're talking over 1,200 milligrams of caffeine or over 12 cups of coffee. And it's worth noting, though, that this intoxication can be the result of things like caffeine pills and energy drinks. And when it comes to prevention, it really is about knowing your own tolerance and what you can handle. Because for some people, that way too much point might be a lot less than someone else's. And for others, they can easily do over 1,200 milligrams of caffeine and be completely fine. So it is important to know yourself. What I would say is if you are doing, 6, 7 cups of coffee and an energy drink and a pre-workout before you work out, it just might be worth taking stock as to why you need so much of it and, take steps to support other areas of your life.
Yeah, as you and I were talking the other week, though, it's really a different way of thinking about coffee because when I hear intoxication, I automatically think alcohol.
Right?
Yeah, but
overdo the alcohol.
Transferring that to caffeine and coffee just is a different way of thinking.
It is. Like too much of anything can suddenly become a bad thing,
water.
Right? Even water, too much water. You can, deplete your electrolytes and pass out. So, yeah, it's moderation.
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah.
Marianne from Calgary up next, and she's confused as she asks, what is buffered vitamin C, and is it different, Kyle, from regular vitamin C?
Really, really great question. So they're both vitamin C. The difference lies in how gentle they are on the gut. So a little explanatory again, so bear with me, but vitamin C is called ascorbic acid. So when you read ascorbic acid on a vitamin bottle, it's just regular vitamin C, which is absolutely fine. Some people find, though, especially if they have a sensitive tummy or are dealing with things like ulcers, that taking this regular form of vitamin C can be too harsh on the gut. And so enter buffered vitamin C. So when vitamin C is buffered, it's combined with a mineral, like calcium, for example, that serves as a buffer to help make it less acidic and easier on the gut. So in this example, when you're searching for it, it wouldn't read ascorbic acid in the ingredients. Instead, it would say vitamin C as calcium ascorbate. So that mineral and the ascorbate indicating vitamin C. Other forms include magnesium ascorbate or sodium ascorbate. So all this to say, if you have tried vitamin C supplements before and they've been too harsh on the gut, going out and getting a buffered vitamin C, just going to a store and asking for one because they're trained to know, is a really viable option, especially if you do want to supplement with vitamin C or are doing larger doses.
Okay. All right. Our last question comes from Donna in Dartmouth, Nova Scotia. She wants to know more about bananas. Here, Jeff, is
Yes.
the banana question. I have been seeing people recommending green bananas on Instagram. Are green bananas actually healthier than ripe bananas?
Thank you, Donna. And Kyle, can we please put this to rest? As we mentioned off the top of the show, I have been taking so much heat about my bananas that I've come into work with. Here we are each and every morning. Is this dangerous? Is this unhealthy for me? Because Carolyn says that's just wrong. It doesn't look good.
It's like an antique banana in that. Look at that. So it's not that they're necessarily healthier. It's just that green bananas have a different nutritional profile than ripe bananas, slightly. So it depends also on the person eating the banana and what they want out of it. Green bananas are high in something called resistant starch, which is a type of starch that resists digestion and can serve as a prebiotic in the gut. So green bananas do support gut health as well as blood sugar control as well. But depending on the person, the green banana might cause some stomach issues at first and things like constipation, especially if they have too much of it all at once.
Okay.
As the banana ripens and turns more yellow,
yes,
that starch gets broken down into more simple sugars, which, even though it does have a bigger impact on your blood sugar, is easier to digest. And the amount of antioxidants actually goes up as the banana ripens as well.
Interesting.
So there's benefits to both. It depends on what you want out of it. If you're looking to lower your sugar intake, increase your fiber, and get a cheap prebiotic, green bananas are great. If you are looking to get some natural sugars, maybe before a workout or a midday boost, and are wanting something that's easy on the gut, ripe bananas are absolutely fine. So you're good either way.
I'm okay?
You're okay.
Good. So
you're gonna be
I
just
will
fine.
give you this, though. That banana we just saw there is probably a day away from being bread.
I mean,
or a
that's fair
muffin.
too. And you can use it for cooking.
Yeah.
But I'm impressed. You can freeze it too and mash it.
Sure.
Put it in
Put it in a smoothie.
Smoothies,
For
great.
sure.
Yeah, it depends on you and the banana you want to eat.
Yeah.
Banana. A fancy way. It's British.
Thank you, Kyle. If you have a question for Kyle you'd like answered on the show, send him a DM on Instagram at @It'sKyleB. Thank you.
Thank you, you do.